Hello. What's up, Mr. Fluff? Oh, we got some people in here right up top. I'm editing an interview with an interesting fella, the creator of a role-playing game called The Call of Cthulhu. He also did some work on the original Doom. Oh shit. The manager of the theater I go to asked if I was going to see Superman opening weekend, and I said yes. And they asked me if I was free during its opening weekend because they're looking for a Superman cosplayer to walk around the theater taking photos of kids or families during the weekend. Oh, that's so nice. Are you going to do it? That sounds very wholesome. That's awesome. What kind of theater is it? Is it a big chain theater, or is it like a independently owned theater? It's in early stages of yapping, but I'd do it. Hell yeah. That sounds fun. It's independent, but it's got theaters in Minnesota and Michigan. Cool. Do you mind dropping the name of the chain or whatever? You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just wondering. I've talked a few times about my past working in the movie theater business. Worked for AMC in the early to mid 2000s. Got fired, but I still worked there for a few years. It's an early stage yapping, and now my brother is getting involved. Okay. Who knows? I might have heard of the chain that you are talking about. Okay. If you're doing it against public officials, if you're calling it a bomb threat, well, now it's included in the category of terrorist threats. Because when you do it against public officials, then the prosecutor can interpret that the reason you've done it is because you want to prevent them from passing the legislation, or you want to prevent them from taking office. Like you want to cause a culture of fear, a culture of terror, to prevent the lawmakers from doing their job. So this is now a serious crime. If you're also organized on a Facebook group or an image board or whatever, if you're on a Discord, even if you're with 2 or 3 other people, now this is specific. Why is this taking so long? Oh, there we go. Like they're going to throw the book at you as if you're the mafia. Oh, because I didn't tell him personally, and he found out through my Facebook. Uh-huh. Your crime is now escalated to an even more serious event. And on top of that, you're doing it towards the United States. I mean, holy shit, like Romania and the United States have very strong connections, right? Like they're our strategic ally. Which means that when the U.S. Embassy would require something like this, it's like, hey, one of your citizens has threatened our president and some of our senators. Can you hand over that chicken shit over? The Romanian government is going to comply. Like, they have absolutely no interest, none. They're going to... I need to clean my desk. I don't have room for anything. Oh, I thought I was out of these. Okay, 10 through 20. Introducing Lovecraft. Is there anyone named Lovecraft in current year? Or did that name die out? Why not? Like the Romanian government has nothing to lose if such a citizen gets a paid vacation
Does H.P. Lovecraft have any living descendants? Oh my gosh, he had no children. His direct line of relatives has died out? That's crazy. The author's surviving aunt, Annie Phillip Gamwell, had no living descendants, and her property passed to more distant relatives like cousins. Their descendants, including children and grandchildren, now control the literary estate of H.P. Lovecraft. Okay. I hear H.P. Lovecraft, I think he died extraordinarily poor. How did H.P. Lovecraft die? Small intestines cancer? Jesus. I like the new Google voice they have.
Put you on my radar. How do you go from guy who had quit to BYU who do all of things to ending up as a game designer?
Okay, so if you want to do the whole life story thing, I'll summarize as best I can. I start out as this kid who loves games and who at the age of 8 found an old book of Lovecraft from 1942 in my dad's box. My dad's been a science fiction fan for forever. He's got old Galaxy magazines and things and science fiction for the old pulps, right? So we also had this one Lovecraft book which I read and never read anything like it, and I was one of those annoying geeky kids that no one likes, that was kind of precocious and didn't have a lot of friends. I mean, I had friends, but not a lot of friends. And so I read Moby Dick when I was 11, that kind of stuff, right? I'm not saying I fully appreciate it, but I read Lovecraft and was into it, and then I got into board war games, like Avalon Hill games, and other games like this. I started making my own games, and also loving Lovecraft. In 1974, D&D comes out, and my friends get me to start playing that. So I'm playing role-playing games and other role-playing games around that. I developed my own role-playing game, which is a horror game in the modern age, with Lovecraft elements, so it's not fully Lovecraftian. At this point, I started contacting, a friend of mine got me to write to and contact Greg Stafford, owner of Chaosium, because I was playing his game RuneQuest a lot. And I did a couple little expansions. One of them was called Gateway Bestiary, and it was a bestiary of monsters for RuneQuest, and as far as I know, it's the first time that Lovecraft monsters ever appeared in print in a game, because I had a section of Lovecraft monsters. So you could have a Shoggoth or something fight your fantasy guy in RuneQuest. In 1980, I managed to get the assignment of doing a Lovecraft game, which originally was going to be called Dark Worlds, but it became Call of Cthulhu. And I didn't use the system I used for my own personal horror game, because they wanted me to use the basic role-playing system, which actually was a lot better than the system I had. So I was cool with that. I did that, and then after that was published, I moved to California to go to graduate school, studying zoology, and then gradually my avocation became my vocation. I dropped out of graduate school, started doing gaming full time. I had a part-time job at Chaosium. Actually, initially it was typesetting the stuff, but I also edited it as a typeset. Then I started developing that. I became their main designer, and I stayed there till 1988 when I realized that there was almost no, the money was not there for Chaosium. It was not an awesome business company. I mean, their business decisions were made from sitting in the warehouse smoking dope, and I would be there with them. They'd be casting around a big old hooter, and I wouldn't smoke it because I was a good LDS guy. But but they would always hand it to me politely. I'd pass it on. I probably got lots of secondhand smoke, actually inhaling the thing. And but based on that, how they made business decisions, you can see why maybe not everything went super well for them. So I left and I went to Microsoft, MicroProse software in Maryland, where I was recruited at a Gen Con by other guys that had worked for TSR and other game companies.
Nice.
They were looking for designers like me to join them, so they got me. And I worked on a bunch of things there. The most notable one is I was one of the developers, not one of the top ones, but one of the developers on the first Civilization. So that's kind of cool.
What'd you think of Lilo and Stitch? Have you seen a lot of the criticisms thrown at it about how they take the good message from the original and just do away with it or whatever?
That is cool. And then from there, when the owner of MicroProse went crazy,
It was good though. You liked it?
doing literally crazy things.
I worked at a place called Suncoast Motion Picture Company when Lilo and Stitch came out on home video on VHS and DVD. And, well, it very well still may be the best Disney live action. Yeah. It's the only one I'm even kind of interested in watching. But just because Stitch looks so damn good. But yeah, I worked at Suncoast Motion Picture Company, which is like a store in the mall that sells like overpriced DVDs. Like they're way marked up. You'll pay like almost double what you would at Best Buy. And so I've watched Lilo and Stitch probably like 40 times, and it was all during that one Christmas season where I worked at Suncoast. And I think it was because I was working. Every time that I watched it, I didn't totally internalize it. So I might have to revisit it. I have Disney Plus right now. Maybe I'll watch it. Man, speaking of the live action remakes, I met up with some friends to watch the Mulan live action remake. Terrible. And none of us dug it. So we decided to watch the animated one right afterwards. And I didn't realize how great that movie was. I mean, I saw it back in the 90s, when it came out. And I thought, yeah, it's fine. But after watching the live-action version and then watching the animated version, you're just like, the animated version's spectacular. Especially when compared to this crappy live-action remake. Which, again, also does away with all of the message and story. Instead of Mulan having to overcome adversity and challenges, they made her a superhero who her main conflict is, Mulan, you can't let everyone know that you're better than everybody. So it just has no message. It's very dumb. Animated Mulan is great.
Then his company started to fall apart, and I left, and I went to id Software with a mutual friend that knew them. They were looking for a designer. Then at id...
You saw the live action or the animated one? I remember I saw the animated one at the drive-in theaters, which that was always fun. Yeah, that drive-in theater, it still stands, but it's been closed for like 3 or 4 years now. Very sad. I don't know where there's another one.
I was there on the first Doom game with them. I did 20 of the 27 levels, or at least re-edited some of them. Some of them were done by Tom Hall.
That might be payment from the charity. That might be through their own Twitch stream or merchandise. I just know that for a charity boxing event in the form of Creative Class, there aren't too many ways to recoup your money other than ticket sales. And that was obviously the biggest challenge.
All of the night had to
When it does well, awesome.
redo them.
Yeah, no, well, let me interject there. So I think I was listening to a different interview you said, and it was either one, I can't remember, it was Romero or was Carmack that actually did the job interview with you.
They all did the job. But Romero and Carmack and Adrian, they all were.
During summer school?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
We weren't anticipating this event doing well.
Yeah, no, well, let me interject there. So, I think I was listening to a different interview you said, and it was either, I can't remember if it was Romero or was Carmack that actually did the job interview with you.
they all did the job. But Romero.
Job interview with you.
It was told to us, like, you could just donate your portion of the profit share to charity after the event. So we were like, okay, fine. Now, I know some people will find it hard to believe that Elise and I were just going to give our portion of the profit share to charity. There's nothing that I can really say.
And Adrian, they all were.
It was up to our discretion. Okay? If you don't believe us, I can't say anything that will change your mind. I guess my only appeal is that year one,
Oh, really?
we made a bunch of money for charity, and I just got the fighters pay like everyone else. And year two of the event, we definitely got nothing. So yeah, having said all of
Like,
this, I know
2.5
there's probably
feet,
a lot of you out there who honestly don't care, and you're just like, you want some boxing, you just want some regular videos. I get that. For my soul, I need
And
so yeah, that's a big relief for me. I'm very happy that this year money is being raised for charity, and I'm glad to know that
I thought if I'd known it would.
was successful.
Then I found out that was. I thought if I'd known.
There's a lot of concern trouble from small businesses. This is the most boring kind of concern.
I thought if I'd known it would.
Concern troll. You need to address this issue, man.
Kind of awkward probably, but I didn't know,
Yeah.
so I just like put it around.
That is like poor concern trolling. Lindsey Graham did a lot of concern trolling about this.
Concern trolling is empirically wrong.
I didn't know, so I just like put it around.
Concern trolling I've ever heard in my entire life.
You know the answer to the concern troll.
Concern trolling about homeless people. This has an example of concern troll.
Concern
Doing the
trolling
main
about
game.
fairness.
And then I'd come
on. And a concern troll is basically concern trolling.
A lot of people do concern trolling.
Concern trolling. Concern trolling. Concern trolling.
And then I'd.
Concern trolling. Concern trolling. Concern trolling. Quintessential concern troll. That was some expert concern troll. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The main game, and then I'd come.
So we get to a level where it's contagious. I'll let you guys know mine. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of ODYSEE. In the last couple of videos, I got a lot of comments. Now I don't have time to read all 150,000 comments, but I also
So you're
want
the
to
go-to history guy, right?
I want them to know that I hear you. I hear your concerns, and I'm listening. I put all 150,000 comments into the AI, and I told it to condense it down into
I remember seeing Harry Potter 1 in that theater, too. Yeah, I saw the first Harry Potter in theaters, and I don't think I watched any of the other ones.
That's what we did.
still. I gotta say, something feels different, man. Did we lose the plot somewhere? I miss the old days, but whatever. Keep doing you, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, peace out. I'm gonna go rewatch some Filthy Frank now. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a big fan of the one comment because I feel like it perfectly encapsulates a comment from like a Norman viewer who maybe watched it 5 years ago, but you know they don't keep up with the drama or anything. When I first started my research on concern trolling, I was trying to find scholars on the topic. I know it hasn't been around for that long, but I'm like, surely there's someone who is well versed in
Those are your least favorite movies, 3 and 5? Interesting. I had Dairy Queen for dinner and got a Superman Blizzard. What is a Superman Blizzard? What's in that? I wish the Dairy Queen was open right now. I want that now.
Yeah, no, well, let me interject there. So I think I was listening to an interview you said, and it was either one, I can't remember if it was Romero or was Carmack that actually did the job interview with you.
They all did the job. Romero and Carmack.
Cookie dough cake batter. Sounds pretty good.
And Adrian, they all were.
You know what I've... This isn't interesting to say, but I've never been a huge peanut butter fan, but the past few months, I don't know what it's been. I've been all about peanut butter. I've been eating lots of it. And I was looking like, this must be terrible for me. There's less sugar in it than I would have suspected. And there's lots of protein in it. So I've been eating stuff with peanut butter. Why did I bring that up? Oh, we were talking ice cream. Oh yeah, I've been getting these peanut butter cup ice cream from this food libraries. And it's fucking fire. Normally I don't eat a lot of ice cream. I don't know, for some reason the past like 6 months I've been into sweets all of a sudden.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what had actually happened is that they decided that Tom Hall, their previous designer, whom I liked, and is that they thought his design style, though it was great for Wolfenstein and Commander Keen, he wasn't right for Doom, and they wanted to get someone new. Okay, and Romero and John Carmack wanted to get an artist to do the levels because it takes, it's
because people like Patton Oswalt don't care about principle. I don't fully buy into what Tim Pool is selling here. You can kind of look at the political spectrum as like a spectrum of concern, and people on the left seem to be.
No, I didn't. Because I didn't wake up until like 9:45 yesterday. And I'm like, how did I sleep so late? And then I remembered, oh yeah, you were up past noon.
All you gotta do to concern troll him is take one step to the left. That's it. I think concern trolling is in the eye of the beholder. With this example,
and they wanted to get someone new. Okay, and Romero and John Carmack wanted to get
by his audience or a portion, maybe a small segment of people. This is what happens when you fall for his stuff. Patton Oswalt falls for it. He is a weak man, but Patton Oswalt doesn't feel that way. He sees it as authentic concern.
get an artist to do the levels because it takes, you have to do a 3D level. And the artist said no. Basically, John, the two Johns have decided that design.
Unless you think comedy is saying like.
I don't know what the fuck happened. Pissing me the fuck off. It was disconnecting all night last night, and now I'm having fucking problems today. Oh wow. It didn't tank my YouTube stream. That's weird. I had to shut down the whole program. Blizzard, and I got a Superman cup. That's cool.
Makes me so mad!
Shit. My fucking upload speeds are down again. Why is it fucking doing this? Speed test. Jesus. This is slow as fuck. Look at this bullshit. Your internet connection is fast? No, it fucking isn't. The download speeds should be almost 300, and they're at 17. And these should be well into the 20s, and it's at 2. It's just gonna be like this every goddamn fucking night.
To me, and they said, if anyone's a designer, it's got to be Sandy Peterson. So let's give him a test. So I came in not knowing that the artists were rooting for me and the programmers were rooting against me. Okay, and so I get in there and they say make a level. So I said okay. So they showed me what they showed me one of the previous artists had done. Except in Doom.
It's T-Mobile. I don't know. It's gonna say the tower's fucked up.
Right? So it was part way around, and so but when I did a level, it was actually level E2M6 of Doom, and there's a you start off and there's a room with
oh, my bars went back up. There it is. You know, normally